pick on you, and that's Rebecca Radis, not Rebecca Beasley. Rebecca, are you with me still?
I am.
Awesome, Rebecca. Give me a proper title that you want to use for this fake post here today. And Karen, let me take you off of mute there.
A proper title.
Yes.
Did we have a theme of what our post was going to be?
I don't care. It can be about anything. But remember, what's the proper title? It's got to be very topic specific. It's got to be very geographically specific all the way down to the neighborhood or school district whenever possible. And it's got to be targeting a long tail search term, which means the search term we're targeting should be 4 to 7 words in length or more, right?
Okay. So since I'm a lender,
okay.
How about FHA HUD $100 down in Colorado Springs, Colorado? Would that be topical enough,
I would
or do I even
something
need
like
to get
that. What I would say is I would say low down payment loans, right? Because just low down payment loans, you're good to go, right? But I would say low down payment loans. And what part of Colorado did you want?
Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs. Or you could take FHA and you could slap it in the front, okay? And you could say right here. So FHA low down payment loans, Colorado Springs, Colorado. If I spelled that right. Did I spell that right?
Yep, you did.
So this is our proper title. What's the search term we're targeting? FHA low down payment loans, Colorado Springs, right? Now, what's the next thing we have to do? Shout it out, anybody.
Content.
Well, what's the first part of that content?
The first sentence.
Just
repeat that title in the very first sentence in bold, italic, or underline, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I just take my title, I copy it, I paste it in, highlight it, and I can bold or underline it. Now let's take a look at this font size. It's pretty hard to see, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? So what I did in the notes and tools is I gave everybody a link to where you can download ScribeFire, okay? When I go up to my tools right here, notice I can select ScribeFire from my tools menu.
Yeah.
When I open up ScribeFire, it opens up down here at the bottom of my page. And I'm going to hit this little window sign to get rid of some of those junky options at the top because I don't need any of those. I'm just going to highlight this text and I'm going to delete that text because I don't really need it right now, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type out whatever text I want, all right? Like let's say I just want to use FHA low down payment loans, right? Colorado Springs, Colorado. I then highlight that. I can make it any color I want. Let's say I want to go with the red. I can make it any size I want. Let's say I want to go with the 7-point, make it really big. I can make it any font style I want, such as Arial Black, right, which is a really bold font style. I can then copy that out, come right back here to my post on Active Rain, highlight. Now remember, you need to right-click and then paste, and boom, there's my title, right? So I can use this to use different sizes, colors, or styles of fonts, all right? And it's literally as simple as create it in ScribeFire, copy it out of ScribeFire, right-click to paste it into Active Rain. Does everybody see how easy that is?
Right, got it.
Control-C, Control-V it?
You Control-C it to copy it out, but then you right-click to paste it. Don't Control-V it, okay? Because sometimes if you Control-V it, it won't take the format, all right?
Gotcha.
Yep. If you try Control-V, though, and it works, great, more power to you. You can do it that way. But if it's not working, you need to understand right-click, paste, and it will work, okay?
Gotcha.
Steven, can you do the same thing from Word, create everything in Word, and then just copy and paste it?
No, because if you create it, the reason I've shown everyone this tool is if you create it in Microsoft Word and you paste it into Active Rain, Microsoft Word uses a different type of script than any other script online today, and it's not an approved script format for Active Rain. Just think of script as a different type of encoding, okay? So it's using a type of coding that Active Rain doesn't acknowledge. And what will happen is your text will go in, and then underneath of it will be all this really weird stuff called HTML, script that you won't recognize. Okay, it basically looks like hieroglyphs, and I'll show you what it looks like in a bit here today.
Is this same thing hold true for the ScribeFire? Can you type it offline, copy it in a ScribeFire, edit it there, and then bring it up?
Yeah, so you would always want to just create the content in ScribeFire and then paste it into ActiveRain. You wouldn't want to create it in Word, put it into ScribeFire, and then put it in ActiveRain. Just create it in ScribeFire. ScribeFire is so cool because what if my computer crashes or my internet goes out and this thing closes out? Well, the next time I open it up again, it's right in there. ScribeFire, actually, sorry. It's gone. Oh, no. Typically, ScribeFire will save every 2 minutes, just like Microsoft Word. I just didn't have it open for 2 minutes, stupid Steven. But it's a very good idea to save that content periodically when you're creating it. And the way you do that, see how it says draft auto-saved right here? Everyone see that right here?
Yeah.
It's lying to you, okay? What you need to do is come down here to visibility, set your visibility to draft, and then post that blog entry. Once you've posted that blog entry as a draft, no one can see it except for you and staff members, and it'll say draft just to the right of the title. You see that? And now I can go back into edit mode anytime I want and continue editing. All right? So that's how you actually save your content on ActiveRain, is you post it as a draft. All right?
Cool.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip down a line because I don't want to use the super large font anymore. I just want to be lazy Steven today.
Steven, we're getting a lot of background popping and snapping noises.
Yeah, and once again, people, if you're off of mute, please keep that background noise to a minimum because it does distract others. So here we go. I'm in bold, right? And now what do I need to do? I need to type out my text, but I need to make sure I'm using some white space, right? And just to save time, because we're already running overtime, as a matter of fact, class is supposed to end in a minute, but we're going to go about 10 to 15 minutes over here. So I'll just button mash out some fake text. I'll copy that, and then I'll paste it repeatedly. So what's the problem with that text? Other than it's not real, right?
It's not user friendly.
Yeah, right. It's too bulky. If you saw something like this, wouldn't you take one look and go, "Ugh, I'm not reading that," right?
Yeah,
it's not appealing. So we need to break it up and put it into digestible pieces by using our white space, right? And maybe we'll put a couple lines of white space. Maybe we'll only do one line of white space, right? Maybe we'll vary it up a little bit. And I'll tell you, 3 to 4 paragraphs is about 300 to 400 words, right? So I'll delete the rest of that because I don't need it. And now here's an example of what my post looks like, right?
So boring.
Still kind of boring. Why?
Because no pictures, nothing to illustrate what's going on.
No variety.
Exactly.
No
now,
variety.
before we do our pictures, okay, so we've done our title. We've done our text. Next, we want to do our tags. So here's our tags. In this tags line, we want to use 2 or 3 variations of our key phrase. Or we can use a tag to internally organize our content, all right? So what's another way that I can say FHA low down payment loans? How about FHA on $100 down? Right? Is that another way of saying pretty much the same thing? And I could put a comma. Here's another variation, right? How about buy a home with 100 down, right? Can anyone else think of another variation we might use?
No, but are these meta tags or just tags?
These are tags, okay? But the search engines will use them similarly to how they use meta tags, okay? For those of you familiar with meta tags, when you give something a meta tag, it tells the search engines that this is another term that this content's also related to. Now, these tags were designed strictly for internal organization, making it easier for you to find posts when you're looking for them on ActiveRain. But you can also use them the same way people use meta tags, okay? The difference here is you only want to use about 2 to 3, okay? And you'll separate them with the comma. Notice I'm not putting in my geographic area again. I'm just doing the key phrase. Does everyone see that?
Yeah.
It's not my exact key phrase for my title. It's variations of that key phrase. So if they didn't search for FHA low down payment loans, they might have searched for FHA on $100 down or buy a home with $100 down, right?
Yeah.
So those are just variations of the key phrase that I'm trying to target, all right? So title, text, tags. Now remember, the only thing I'm missing from my text is the repeats of my key phrase, which I could do now. And remember, they don't always have to be in the text because I can also use them as hyperlinks for hyperlinks or titles for photos, and I'll teach you how to do that here in a minute. But let me just slap some in the text here. Now, you obviously won't be copying and pasting in here. You just try to repeat that naturally, right? So title, text, tags, and then you draft it, okay, after you've proofread it. All right? So here's my rough draft. Now I go back into edit mode. Now I'm ready to insert pictures and hyperlinks. Okay, so it goes title, text, tags, then pictures and hyperlinks, and you always draft in between those steps, always proofread between each step. So now if I'm ready to insert a photo, let's say I want a photo to go right here, just between my title repeat and my first paragraph. So I put my cursor on the screen where I want the photo to go, and then I click on this little photo of the green tree, and this little insert edit image box opens up. Now, if I found the photo somewhere online, and I have permission to use it, I can insert the image URL. But most of us are going to be downloading photos to our computer that we've taken with our own digital cameras and saving them on our computer. So to browse our hard drive for that photo, we click the little picture of this browser window that says browse when we put our cursor over it. Up pops this image box, okay? Now listen, if upload an image to Active Rain, if this box doesn't pop up, you need to turn off your pop-up blocker, okay? And at this point, it's just like doing an attachment on an email. I click browse. I'm going to use this Facebook picture here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to use that picture of that yard sale sign. I click open. I upload the photo. And then, boom, now that photo of that yard sale sign's in my preview box. Everybody see that here now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for image description, this has nothing to do with SEO for your post. This is strictly the SEO for the image, okay? So what we need to do here is we need to describe what the image is of. We're not going after SEO for our post or SEO for our website. It's just the way that we want people to be able to find this image when they're looking for it in Google Images. So what do you think I'm going to describe this image as, somebody?
Yard sign.
Yeah, how about this? How about pink yard sale sign with a pink balloon in a cul-de-sac, right?
That's hyphen DE. SHA.
Come on.
Good
We're not here
enough.
to give Stephen a spelling class. So now the next thing is this title, right? So title is for the SEO for this post. We learned that we can put our key phrase in there. So on the title line, what are we going to put?
FHA low down payment.
Yeah, FHA low down payment loans, right? So FHA low down payment loans, right? Now we're not done. Next we're going to go to appearance. We see that alignment is not set, okay? And this is an example of what it looks like when I put that photo in there without the alignment set. So I'm going to explore some alignment options until I find the alignment I like. The alignment I like is alignment left. Notice how it's wrapping the words around that photo now?
I like it.
But there's something wrong here. Notice that the words are touching the side of my photo. That looks pretty tacky, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So here we have these options for vertical space and horizontal space. Vertical space is the space above and below the photo. Horizontal is the space to the left and right of the photo. It's the horizontal space I need to change. So the larger of a number I put in here, the larger of a space I get. And once I tab down to the next box, you see how big that space looks, right? That looks better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vertical space will change the vertical space, which already looks okay, so I'm not going to worry about that. Border, the bigger of a number you put in here, so there's a 2. Notice I now have a black border around the photo.